Hello, guys. Let me get this clear to you that I believe that the rapture is false, and that it is basically taught by many people that are deceived or false teachers. Let me get this clear to you that the rapture is not really in the Bible, or is it's biblically supported. Actually, Jesus said in the 24th chapter of Matthew that these things shall come first, and we're already in part of the first part of the things that are happening right now. Part of the things that Jesus talked about would happen in the end days. Yes, we are in the end times, but this is what would happen first. This is the insanity of man, I believe. So the first thing that would happen would be and the first thing that would happen is that people would be basically false Christs. They would deceive each other. They would deceive people by being false Christs. And yes, people would become. There will be people that say I'm the Christ, and they are not really, because if they say that I'm the Christ, that's the false. That's the first sign that the end is happening, and now it's going to be wars and threats of wars. That's happening right now. The first thing that happened was false messiahs, and then wars and threats of wars happened when Syria happened, and that was happening when ISIS happened. Let's see what else. Ethnos, I think that's what it said. And there'll be many people going against each other. That's what's actually happening right now, and earthquakes and famines and natural disasters all over the world right now. Yeah, that's starting to happen, guys. That's really starting to happen. And we're not in the part where then he will be rescued and persecuted and killed all over the world. That's not happening yet, but it's starting to happen. But it's just starting to happen. Not really happening. It's actually just in the very beginning stages. It's like a just a regular storm turning into a hurricane, like a Category 5. It's just in the very beginning stages. Just like a thunderstorm, just kind of brewing out of nowhere. And what else? The many will turn away from me and betray me. That's Jesus speaking to himself about others. And many false prophets and will appear and deceive many people, and sin will be rampant everywhere, and love of many will turn cold. So that's basically saying that all of this has to happen first, and another verse would say the great falling away would have to happen first, and actually we're about getting close to the great falling away, really. I mean, I'm trying to think of a word to say, but we're not really in the great falling away. We're just in the beginning stages of the great falling away. That's just one then anyway. That's just we're in the very beginning stages. So if you think this is really bad for the evangelical church and all the other denominations and all the people being confused, wait until the people start becoming atheists. That's how bad it's going to get. And I'm going to keep on my firm belief because I'm deeply rooted in Jesus. And you have to be too, because it's going to be really bad out there. And notice that all of this is not even mentioning the rapture, nor is it going to be taking, I don't know what. And, where was it? But the one that endures to the end shall be saved. And then the good news about the kingdom will be preached throughout the whole entire world, so that that all nations will hear it, and then the end will come. But notice that the end is not really the rapture. That's when the end of the good period will happen. That's when the end will be known. That's when people will set dates. That's when the end will come. That's when people set dates. Anyway, so that sacrilegious object, I mean, they would have to have a temple for it, and basically, what's going to go on is basically these people are going to have to realize that the Antichrist will come when the Antichrist will come when, let's say, that when we're still here. I mean, the Antichrist will happen. The Antichrist will come in office when we're still here. So he will literally go in Jerusalem and actually, kill as many people as he possibly can that are Jewish and whatever he's going to do. And he's going to basically take the Holy Spirit away, and he's going to get the mark of the beast ready and all that. And it's going to be terrible. And those who are in Judea, which is Israel, everyone's going to have to flee from Israel, and that's going to be a terrible time to be in Israel. And even not even a single person will survive if the calamity is not shortened. Not a single person will survive in Israel, but it's shortened for that sake. And the Messiah is not. It even says that if you're looking for the Messiah, he's not there. He is only known in the mind and known in the spirit. He is not anywhere to be found in the sky, nor is he found anywhere in the desert or in hidden places. You don't have to look anywhere because, Jesus Christ is, he's going to elect everyone at the very end. When the world ends, he's going to elect everyone. And he's going to come when the sun is darkened and the moon comes, when it gives no light and the stars will fall away from the sky and the powers of heavens will be shaken. That's referencing the 3.5 years, the last 3.5 years of Revelation. And in those days, it will be the worst days possible. And note in Matthew chapter 24, not yet does it ever talk about that. Nowhere does it talk about that right now. It's not right now that Jesus ever takes his people to heaven. Nowhere right now does it talk about that. But in the end, and the last sign of the Son of Man is coming, will appear in the heavens, and there will be deep mourning among all the peoples of the earth, and they will see the Son of Man coming on the clouds of heaven with great power and great glory, and he will send out his angels with a mighty blast of a trumpet, and they will gather his chosen ones from all over the world, from the farthest ends of the heaven and the earth. And that just means that he's going to gather his people that are first dead and then last living. That just means that at the very last sign, at the very last hour, in the very last minute, the Son of Man is going to come and take his people away. That's actually not the rapture, not the pre-trib, but really, the angels will literally take people away from dead to alive. And there's no really a secret rapture that people go in a puff, nor is it people just dying on the streets and being taken away. No, there's going to be quite literally a people that will be taken by angels. They'll be in corruptible bodies at first, and then God will give them a body of incorruption. But also, I don't know what will happen, but I think that the world will be also taken and then thrown to hell. That's the very last sign that's going to happen, is that everyone is going to be taken up to heaven, and there will be I mean, they will be all taken to heaven, and no one's gonna like it. There will be a great mourning because they know that Jesus Christ is up in the sky and He's wonderful and looking and all that, and they're so filled with darkness that they can't even realize what they've done. And this Bible does not clearly describe it, but a deep mourning among all peoples of the earth. Honestly, I don't know if there's going to be any Christians that are going to be left alive, but the first there's going to be dead people that are going to be taken up to heaven, but those people are basically dead and their spirits will be taken, but in the very end there will be people judged on the earth, and you know there will be the 1,000 years, and then Satan will try to enter heaven and he will not be successful because he's not getting there. I mean, he's not going to make it to New Jerusalem. He's going to be trying to trick them into entering that place, but it's not going to happen because all these people are going to be perfect, and the people that are in hell, they're basically going to be part of the demons, and they're going to be so angry and so wanting heaven that they will try to enter heaven first, but they're not going to make it. So let's insistently say that Jesus will judge all the people of all the earth, and the people of the earth will be you know I mean, there will be only people left in Judea because not a single person will survive, but it will be shortened for this God's sake of God's chosen one. So I believe there will be still the chosen one of God's there will be the God's children left in the world, but basically there will be few of them left. I mean, the people will be judged for what they've done to God's people, but I think it's a iffy part, but I think that the end will be Jesus will take everyone up to heaven and they will judge everyone. First starting with the dead, and then lastly starting with the living. And most of the dead will perish, and most of the living will perish, and very few of the living and dead will make it to God's glorious kingdom. And honestly, there's a lot of false teaching. I know there's a lot of false teaching about this topic, and there's not going to be a lot of agreement about Matthew chapter 24 or any of the other verses that it supports. Because there's a lot of support about Matthew chapter 4. There's a Luke, Revelation, Thessalonians, John, First John, I meant, Daniel, Joel, another Daniel reference, and First Corinthians, I think Jude, maybe James, James. There's going to be a lot of references for this one, and then there's also references in the beginning about what's going on. I mean, there's a whole bunch of references. And First John and Isaiah. There's a whole bunch of them everywhere. So basically, that's just it for me describing what the Rapture is going to be like. It's not really there. It's actually angels gathering his people, and that's it. That's all you get to do is actually have people have all the angels gather God's people, and it's all he does. And there's no secret rapture. There's no anything like that. There's going to be angels on chariots that are gathering the dead and alive. And that's at the very end of the world. After everyone has suffered afflictions from the worldly, and then the worldly will suffer afflictions from God second. So, first it's the worldly suffering, first it's the worldly making us suffer, and then it's the worldly suffering from God because of what they've done to us. Just remember that, okay? All right, I'll be done now, okay? Bye.